Hello friends, I welcome you all to my channel EVSedu. Today I am going to discuss about the topic concepts of environment. Dear friends, in this topic I am going to discuss about the general introduction of environment, a brief concept of environment, major functions of environment in relation to man, and lastly the different types of environment. Well, let us start this topic with the introduction of the environment. We all know that environment includes sum of all surroundings, and literally environment is defined as sum of all surroundings. The term environment is widely used and has a broad range of definitions, meanings, and interpretations. And there are the different works of the people which define environment in their way, and various environmentalists, ecologists, and scientists from the various fields define this environment under the different meanings, under the different words and different terms. Here a basic question arises that what does the term environment mean? And the answer of this question is in popular usage. For some people, the term environment means simply nature. In other words, the natural landscape together with all of its non-functional features or all of its non-human features, characteristics, and processes. Everything that surrounds and affects a living organism is called environment. Here, everything includes both living and non-living things. When we have cite an example of an organism which is surrounded by different things which come under the biotic living or abiotic non-living things, and the interaction of all these things with this organism makes its environment. The environment word is derived from a French word environner, which means to encircle or to surround. In its most literal sense, environment simply means surroundings, or we can say environs. Hence, the environment of an individual, object, element, or system includes all of the other entities with which it is surrounded. These entities include its mediums like air, which surrounds an organism and which is very essential for an organism for the sustenance of life. Similarly, we have one more medium that is called the water, which is very essential and basic component of the life, and soil, which is a substrate for living, settlement, and production. Environment is a composite word for the surroundings in which an organism or a group of organisms live. These organisms, or we can say a group of organisms, can become able to live at a place when there is the availability of different surroundings, and those surroundings include biotic as well as abiotic things which remain interacting with each other and transfer the energy and material cycling for an object, an organism, or a group of organisms, which becomes the basis of their lives. Okay, so dear friends, we are talking about that environment is sum of surroundings, or we say that an organism environment is its surroundings. Basically, there are certain basic needs in which all the organisms live, and those basic needs are air, water, soil, light, wind, and many other factors like humidity, like temperature, rainfall, etc., and so on and so forth. Dear friends, when we talk about these basic needs, which here I have cited few examples like air, water, soil, light, wind, etc. Among these, air, water, and soil. These include the basic mediums of our environment, and all these air, water, and soil are also considered as the principal mediums because these are the primary three mediums which becomes a place for ability of the life, or these mediums are also called supportive mediums for any organism or a life or a community. When all these three mediums are available at a place, and that consists at the healthy environment. By the way, that this air it composes atmosphere which provide us many essential gases for the sustenance of life. Similarly, water it constitutes hydrosphere, and soil it constitutes lithosphere. Atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere, these are considered the basic needs in which an organism lives. Well, this environment is also known as multidimensional, and we can say that this environment has multidimensional aspects. And these multidimensional aspects of the environment include different things, and this multidimensional approach of the environment varies from man to man. For some people, they understand that environment is the natural landscape together with all of its non-human features, characteristics, and processes. To those people, the environment is often closely related to notions of wilderness and pristine landscapes that have not been influenced, or at least that have been gradually influenced by human activities. However, for other people, the term environment includes human elements to some extent, and for other people, this environment is considered as it is the basic source of the habitat and resources which are bestowed by the nature are known as natural resources. Hence, the environment is variously the backdrop to the unfolding narrative of human history. The habitat and resources that humans exploit and hinterland that surrounds by the human settlements or wilderness that humans have not yet demonstrated, demarcated, or dominated. Dear friends, it was all about the brief concept as well as the introduction of the environment. So, proceeding with this lecture, let us come across about the different definitions of the environment. This environment has been defined by the various environmentalists from time to time in their works, and I have here cited two principal and two simple definitions of the environment. First one is, environment is defined as it is the sum of all social, economic, biological, physical or chemical factors which constitute all surroundings of living organisms, who is both either creator or modeler of his environment. Here the sum of all include social environment, while there is the different kinds of the societies, their interactions within them and with the environment. Economic, which is again dependent with the environment. The economy, which are produced by utilizing and harnessing by the different natural resources which are bestowed by the nature and which are present in the environment as its surroundings. Biological environment, which include plants, animals, and different living creatures like bacteria, fungi at many small levels. Those are known as microorganisms, to the multiscale organisms like man or any other giant organism. Then we have physical or chemical environment, where there is the presence of the physical or chemical factors which constitute all the surroundings of organism, and by this definition, it is the complete definition where we understand what environment basically is. Then there is one more definition that environment can also be defined as sum total of air, water and land, and the interrelationships that exist among them and with the human beings and other living organisms and materials. This definition can be best explained by this figure depicts also that environment is the sum total of all conditions and influences which affect the development and life of all organisms on the planet Earth. The living organisms may vary from the lowest microorganism scale such as protozoa, bacteria, fungi, virus, etc. to the highest living organism scale including man, and each of these organisms has its own environment, and such environment has multidimensional aspects. The perceptions varies from man to man. Well, dear friends, let us proceed ahead and have a look on the different functions of the environment. Environment performs various functions for different prospects and different segments and different sectors of the life. And this environment is not only functional for the living organisms, it also becomes functional for the non-living organisms and factors which are present in our environment. Here I am going to discuss about the major functions of the environment in relation to man, and these are the three major functions. First one, those are known as recreation and aesthetics. Firstly, these in the environment were provided by the recreation and aesthetics by different landscapes, water bodies, and other pasture lands. These are those segments of the environment which are completely under the influence of the nature and remain undisturbed and attracts every creature. Then second, this environment provides us a lot of sources in the form of the natural resources like forests, air, water, soil, so on and so forth. And lastly, it also provides a sink for wastes produced by the human activities. While performing these three principal functions, literally environment means the surroundings, external conditions influencing the development or growth of the people, animal or plants, living or working conditions, etc. This involves three questions. Question number 1. What is surrounded? The answer of this question is living objects in general and man in particular. Question number 2 is by what surrounded? The physical attributes are the answer of this question, which becomes environment. Environment is the representative of physical components of the earth, where a man is an important factor affecting the environment. And the third question is why surrounded? The answer of this question is it is in the nature that physical components of the planet Earth, that is land, air, water, which I have already discussed, etc., support and affect the life in the biosphere, that is also known as living sphere of the Earth. And lastly, in this lecture, I am going to briefly discuss about the different types of environment. Broadly, the environment is of three types. First one is the natural environment. We all of us know that natural environment is under the influence of the nature. It is a self-regulatory mechanism in which any change in environment is brought about by natural processes and balanced by changes in other components of environment. Here are some pictorial examples of the natural environment. Number second type is man-made or artificial environment. Man-made environment is regularly modified by man as per his needs. The man-made or anthropogenic or artificial environment includes technology, transportation, housing, agricultural implements, channelization of various energy sources like hydrothermal, nuclear, etc., industrial revolution, etc. The third type is micro-level and macro-level environments. Micro-level environment refers to social, psychological, ethical, and motivational process involved in the impact assessment of environment. Examples are human likes and dislikes, stress and enjoyment, privacy, effect of crowding, ambience, etc. Dear friends, according to Gottlieb, environment is of three types which influence the personality of an individual as under. These three types are basically related with the activities of humans and the different microenvironments which are associated with the different human activities. Among them, the physical environment is the first environment. It refers to the geographical climate and weather or physical conditions where an individual lives. Second one is known as social environment. It includes individual social, economical, and political conditions where he lives. And the last one is psychological environment. Although physical and social environments are common to individuals in specific situations, yet every individual has his own psychological environment in which he lives. As per Kurt Lewin, he has used the term life space for explaining psychological environment. The psychological environment enables us to understand the personality of an individual, both the person and his goal from the psychological environment. If a person is unable to overcome the barriers, he can either get frustrated or complete to change his goal for new psychological environment. But adopting this mechanism, the individual is helped in his adjustment environment. With this, I have completed this lecture. Hope you like this lecture. Listening this lecture, kindly subscribe this YouTube channel for more lectures. Thank you all.